This is the Powertrains 2.0 RC Train and Quarry set. This is the brand new starter set. I picked it up for $28 at Target, but it'll also be sold on Amazon. This is the first set to feature remote control in the series. It includes this locomotive with an attached boxcar, a caboose, a flatbed, a hopper car, and this mining truck. It also requires 7 AAA batteries, which is much more than before, assuming to power the remote control and this spotlight up here on the Quarry equipment. If we flip around to the back, you can see it also includes that figure 8 piece. That was sold separately last year, but it's an excellent piece for expanding your layouts. It also has a better picture of our Quarry equipment. And these are previews of the 2019 engine and car packs. For the engine packs, we've got fire rescue and boat transport for new themes, as well as military and car carrier returning themes with new colors. The car packs correspond to each of the different engines. You'll see a lot of repeats this year as far as oil tanker, caboose, boxcar, but some new cars as well, like this fire rescue car. Really want to check that one out. Boat transport comes with 2 speedboats for a flatbed. Military comes with this helicopter. And car carrier looks like just a recolor of last year's set. Now, let's open this thing up. We've got a lot to put together. Let's come back in just a moment. Here's the pack out of the box. You can see underneath here are even more components, including our Quarry rocks and our conveyor belt. I'll get all these released and put together. We'll start with the locomotive. As you can tell, this one's a little different. So connecting the two is that wire. And although it looks like a regular coupler that they've attached, it's actually one solid piece, so you can't detach them. So anytime you use this locomotive, it'll always be followed by this boxcar. Now this boxcar is special. These sliding doors don't open, and it's got ways to open it on the back. So you'll see there is the screw, and there is the other one that will open this to allow us to place the batteries. I can only assume that is part of the remote control function. So there you can see the instructions about how to install them. I'll go ahead and get that started. I used this small Phillips head screwdriver to undo this screw to open up the battery slot for the locomotive. You can see there's a tab on one side and a screw on the other, and only one battery is going to go in here. Now for the boxcar, we've got that one and down there, and they're really tiny, so you have to use a very small screwdriver, but once I got it open, this slides off very much like the other locomotives. Kind of neat to have a boxcar just like that. So this is what it looks like when they're open. You can see spots for 2 batteries there, so we'll just get those loaded in. We'll pop one in the locomotive and on to the next. Our remote control also requires batteries. Let's take a closer look real quick. We see a speedometer here that goes up to 400, which is pretty high, but it's just a sticker, so it won't be changing. You can see we've got a stop and forward are the 2 choices, and it moves just a tiny bit. On the back, you can see this is the on-off switch. It's currently set to off. To use it, you just turn it on, but we need a battery. This screw, unfortunately, is too large for our other screwdriver, so we'll have to use a larger one. Let's get a battery, or 2 batteries in here, and get going. Our spotlight for the Quarry equipment will also require 2 batteries, so we'll get this cover off and test it out. I've got the batteries in. We'll check out the light. Looks pretty good. It can swivel. It can't tilt, but I think it'll look pretty good on our Quarry equipment. Let's check it out. We'll start with the platform and put all 3 platform legs into it. Here's the top of the platform and the bottom. We'll take our legs and put them in. There's 1, 2, and the final one goes here. One was a little trickier. Okay, cool. Then we'll take that and put it into the base. Got the base here. Probably turn it around. We can see we got 3 slots. That'll probably be where our legs go. Probably turn it around. And let's get that in there. Oh, well, that was super easy. Next is the conveyor belt. Let's grab that. Looks like this will just pop in right here. There we go. And that's pretty cool. Next, we'll put our searchlight in. Looks like that goes right in here. So notch. Would it go that way? Yep. Weird to have that on the outside. And then put some straight track right in front of it. And put rocks into the rock tray. Oh, that's cool. It looks like this is actually going to slot in. Yep. So it will attach to the track, making sure it's always in the right spot. Little snug, but that worked. And our rocks. I had a lot of questions about these. They're pretty tiny and have kind of an interesting swirl pattern on them. We'll put all of them in there. They're supposed to be 20, but I don't think I'm going to count them. Oh, we'll use the tipper to put those 2 in. Let's get it set up. The track went together really nicely, although sometimes the joints can be a little tight. Once they're together, they make a really nice connection, just like the other Powertrains 2.0 track. I won't be using this cross piece to make the figure 8. I'll just be using a simple oval today to check out the Quarry. I've used this piece in other videos. You can check them out below or on my channel. So we've got our remote control locomotive and boxcar. Let's get it onto the track and check out our new remote. Now we'll need to turn it on, and when we do, we get this bright yellow light on the front. And when we press the button on the locomotive, the light on the front of the cab lights up. So there we go. Now that, you'll notice, is moving pretty fast. Let's see if we can slow it down. Well, it looks like it really just has 2 modes. So we can stop whenever we'd like, which I really do like, but there's not going to be any speed control and no reverse. Now let's check this out with a couple other cars. This is the all-new Quarry car, which I'm pretty excited about, or hopper car. Now you'll notice it has this little gray lever, and you can use that to tip it, which I think is pretty neat. And it goes both directions in case you're going clockwise or counterclockwise. Now these connections, they can be tricky. So give it some time. Make sure you've got it lined up. And hopefully you'll get it on the first try. I usually take a few tries. There we go. It's a little bit of a trick, but got it going. Now maybe let's line this up with our Quarry and see how it works. So I think I've got it all lined up. We've got our little conveyor here. Let's start turning the conveyor. Oh, oh. Maybe we need to back up a little bit. So let's try it from there. Hey! Let's get some more going. Oh, man. You know, if it runs the whole way, it goes a little fast. Well, I'm for sure going to lose these just about instantly. But We've got a few in there. Let's grab our remote. How cool is that? Now, with no reverse and no way to slow down, it's going to be pretty tough to line up that hopper car. Oh, which has now derailed. Let's say that we got it right there. And let's try out this. Oh, but I had to back this up a little bit, so we'll get a little closer. We'll try the new tip function. Hey. Well, I don't know if you can see that, but one of them made it in. Now, I didn't have it right up against it. Probably should have. Let's try that again. I filled the hopper back full of rocks. Let's see. Can we tip them? Oh, I think we got all of them. Let's take, well, let's move the train out of the way. Oh, we missed one. So we'll get that in there. We can tilt and dump them right back in. How cool is that? Maybe go around for... Uh-oh! Derailed. Let's get that set back up. All right. We're back on the rails. And I've got this kind of at an angle. So I think this will be able to dump into our collection here. Or I don't know what you'd call that. And then I think these will end up... Oh, too far. Hey, I got a few. All right. We've only lost, I think, 2 so far. Well, 4. So, you know, it's a little tricky to get those in there, and it doesn't work every time. And I know I'm going to end up losing at least most of the rocks. So let's get our 2 more cars hooked up. We've got this flatbed, and we've also got a caboose. All right, we're fully loaded up with all the cars from the set. Let's grab our remote control. We'll see, that's a lot of weight at the top of that hopper, but it looks like it's going pretty well. Ooh, I like that. Now, because the angles I have to have this set up, it's kind of hard to keep moving this. It seems like it's maybe not perfectly lined up. This chute should maybe be at a different angle to get it loaded into the hopper. So let's see, can I get any of them in? Oh, I think most of them. Let's tilt this back up and see. Hey, all right, I think we just missed one. Uh-oh, derailed again. Let's get that set back up. I've had a couple derails. So I've grabbed the locomotive from the starter set, as well as this car carrier car. And we'll see who's faster, the starter set or the Quarry set. Now, I've only got 1 car in here, so I'm thinking it's going to be faster, but based on those derails, this could be a faster locomotive. Yep, it is much faster. Now, I know it has fresh batteries, and it makes a difference, but it does keep derailing, which is surprising. And of course, we've got this mining dump truck. So it's very light, it's very big. It has kind of a notch here, so when this dump is back to normal, or not dumping, it kind of locks in, which can make it a little tricky to use. But I do just wonder kind of why it's so big. It doesn't really fit in with the other powertrains products, so not really sure about this one. Now, I assume this would be out in a quarry, collecting the rocks, would then dump into our equipment, which would then load into our hopper to take it away. Let's see if we can pull off all of those steps. All right, we've got a truck full of rocks. We can back up this ramp. And let's try to unload it into our hopper. So this is the tricky part. It kind of sticks, all right? There we go. We lost one down here, but no problem. Right back in. And now back to the quarry to pick up some more minerals or rocks. Now that we're at the quarry, you can see how they kind of feed into that rubber conveyor belt. Sometimes, well, more successfully than others. But we don't want to start dumping yet. Our train's not here yet. To notify the train we've got rocks to deliver, let's signal it with the spotlight. And here comes the train. Maybe a little more. There we go. Now let's use the conveyor to deliver rocks into the hopper. This might take a minute. That took more than a minute, and the train needed a little help. With that, we'll send it off. Oh, right, it's an oval. Well, we've derailed again, and this time with a full load of rock. After 3 derailments in the same corner, I checked out the track. So I replaced this piece, which was right here, and it just wasn't perfectly smooth. The train would sound a bit different when I went over it, and, well, after I swapped it out, I haven't had a derailment since. Nice and smooth. So that's the Powertrains 2.0 RC and Quarry set. There's a lot of great things with this, and a couple that are a little goofy. I'm not a huge fan of this truck. I think it's a little too big, and just doesn't really fit in. Would have rather seen something like this dump truck from Driven Pocket Series. It's a whole lot smaller, and I think it matches a little better. This conveyor is a little goofy, doesn't always work, and sometimes it needs some help. And then the chute's not really lined up right to land in the hopper. I've always had to move it back to land in the hopper, and then it's too far for the hopper to dump back into the system. So, a little goofy there. I'm glad I figured out the derailments. I was pretty worried. The train's quite a bit faster, but it does have 3 batteries, and they're brand new, so that could be a factor. Overall, a great pickup and a great spot to start for Powertrains 2.0. Thanks for coming by and checking out the video. If you liked it, hit the like button, even if you didn't maybe love all the features. And if you like Powertrains, please subscribe. I put out a ton of Powertrains videos, and I'll be getting all the new sets, well, pretty much all the new sets this year. Thanks.